Week 3, part 3 of Empower. We're going to talk about hydration. Hydration is one of the largest free medicines that we have. I don't think a lot of us actually value its importance, and the majority of people don't drink enough. We should be drinking around 1.5 to 2 litres of water every day. Our body is made up of 60% water, so it's needed for every single function that it does. A number of symptoms can be cleared up just by increasing your fluid intake. Irritable bowel syndrome, especially, is something that really benefits from just drinking more water. Headaches, fatigue. The first sign often of fatigue is dehydration is the first sign of fatigue in the majority of cases. And when we exercise, we obviously have to drink even more of that. Filtered water ideally is really beneficial because it takes out the fluoride and the chlorine in the water. A number of dentists may disagree with the fluoride and believe everything needs to be fluorinated, but a number of people, certainly with thyroid conditions, fluoride can be quite a factor in the water that people don't understand or realise. It can actually make thyroid conditions a little bit worse. Tips really for how to get your water increase up, because a number of us probably won't measure what we're drinking and possibly won't even know how much we're drinking. They just need to know that we need to drink more. So, you can buy measured bottles, litre bottles of water. Obviously, ideally, metal or tin rather than plastic, or BPA free is a really good idea. But they have measures on the side so that you can keep a track of what you're drinking and making sure that you're just keeping your fluid intake all the way through the day. Diet drinks, energy drinks, as we've just mentioned, are very high in sugar, so don't really count in extra fluid. They're more detrimental than not. Coffee and tea doesn't really count as fluid, even though it's a diuretic. The caffeine's a diuretic, so it doesn't really help massively. I would never take away somebody's good quality coffee or tea every day. I think it's just about the amount that you drink, and ideally caffeine in the morning, definitely. But, ideas to try and get some more water in. Some people say, I don't like water, but, simple things like adding fruit to water, slices of cucumber, squeeze of grapefruit. Obviously, you have to be careful with grapefruit if you're on any kind of heart medications, but slice of lime, starting the morning off rather than having a coffee when you first wake up is fresh slice of lemon and a slice of ginger, fresh ginger, and it's brilliant for your skin, brilliant for detoxification in your liver, really, really good for a number of things, and it's going to be far more beneficial than save your coffee till you have it with breakfast, which will help with the caffeine and the sugar release that we've talked about earlier. Herbal teas count. I'm a massive fan of herbal teas. I wasn't when I was younger, and I meet a lot of women who I suggest and they haven't liked it in the past, but they've tried it again now they're older, and they say, actually, I'm quite surprised. But herbal teas are still a form of medicine. There's some brilliant ones out there. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. You have to discover and find your own tastes, but particularly beneficial ones are green tea, which are brilliant. There's actually lots of studies based on weight loss in green tea, but they're good for all sorts of things. Pretty much every system in the body benefits from a green tea. Green tea can be quite bitter, so I think Pukka do a nice brand of different greens and matcha tea mixed with different things like green and ginger, green and lemon, green and peppermint, which is a really nice one. Teas like peppermint are really, really good for any digestive issues, or after a meal if you feel quite full. Any kind of soothing, kind of calming digestive teas are great. Chamomile is particularly good for digestive issues or before bed. They do some lovely sleep tea combinations, and there's other teas like echinacea and elderberry, which is great for immunity. And something which is really beneficial for women, is, you know, a slice of a sprig of rosemary in some hot water. As long as you know where the rosemary has been grown and it's had a quick wash before you've stuck it in your cafetiere, but it's surprisingly uplifting and refreshing in the afternoon, especially when you're feeling like you need a little bit of caffeine. Green tea has a very small amount of caffeine in it, so best not drunk too much later on in the afternoon or before bed. Like I say, coffee and tea is an essential part of my life, and it can be really good for you. If you're drinking 5, 6, 7 cups a day, you know, that's not going to be very detrimental. It is going to be detrimental. It does affect your sleep quality. So even if you're the kind of person who has a coffee before bed and you can still sleep, it will affect your quality of sleep. So by bringing it forward and trying not to have any caffeine after 2 o'clock is going to help you sleep massively. If you really are missing that caffeine fix, try opting for green tea, and that might hit the spot a little bit more. And if you sleep better, you're going to wake up feeling more refreshed in the morning. Another good idea for evening times, especially if you're somebody who really craves or likes a glass of wine in the evening and maybe wants to reduce the number of days that they drink alcohol, is kombucha. If you've never tried it, it's a fermented green tea. It sounds disgusting, but you need to try it really to understand. It doesn't taste like green tea, and it doesn't taste like anything fermented, but it's often flavoured with blueberry, ginger, all different flavours. Again, we have to be careful of the hidden sugars in a lot of them. They're sold in most supermarkets and health food shops. There's a particularly good brand called Hip Hop. Not that I work for them, but I wish I did, because they're quite local and based in Lim, so they do deliver to your door. So if you see some, it might be worth giving it a try, because it makes a really nice drink in the evening that you can put in a wine glass that's beneficial to your gut bacteria, because kombucha is a fermented liquid which feeds the gut bacteria, which helps with immunity and brain health and gut health and all the other things. So it's a really nice idea to try, that you can drink that's actually going to be beneficial for your health rather than not. And it is a nice option when you feel like you need a glass of wine and you don't really want one in the week. There's a good range of sodas and things now. Again, just watch out for those sugars. But yeah, I think the key takeout today is just think about hydration, think about adding nice things, finding tastes that suit you, and just be very aware that a number of symptoms you have might be relieved by drinking more water. So get your measuring jugs out. If you've got any questions on the last 3 sessions that I've just done, please feel free to put some questions in the chat, because each of these topics is quite vast, and I appreciate there's a number of questions that might come from this. So put your questions up and I'll do my best to answer them. And if not, I can pick any up in the live on Sunday. Okay, bye.